Welcome back to our February real estate market review. We have just come out of a crazy, crazy year in 2022. We've seen so many changes in the housing market, from rising mortgages to decreasing prices on homes and shifting buyer demographics, just a ton of changes. And amidst all of these changes, one thing has remained consistent: misinformation, clickbait, confusion, and conflicting opinions. All right, what is going to happen with the market? What is happening? What can we expect? Let's take a minute in this video to review some of the biggest questions going into 2023 and what we can expect to the real estate market as a whole. My name is Katie Evans. I'm the owner and lead agent of the Living 48 real estate team. Welcome back to another one of our quick little videos. Thank you for joining us today as we do our February real estate market review. All right, let's look at mortgage rates. This has been one of the things that has been so volatile in 2022. There has never, ever, ever, ever been documented and recorded in one single year the interest rates doubling. 2022 takes the award for that one. So what does that mean for mortgage rates in 2023? So let's talk about a couple of key indicators with mortgage rates. Historically, we have the 30-year fixed mortgage rate, okay, right here, and then our 10-year, pardon my cute, visual here for you, but our 10-year treasury yield has essentially they've mirrored each other, okay? So if they go up, they both go up. If they go down, they both go down, okay? So keep that in your head for just a minute. On average, the mortgage rate is about 1.79% higher than that 10-year treasury yield. And so when they do that, they sort of move in unison. Now, right now, we are seeing a difference of about 2.79%. That's a bigger difference than what's normal. So that is significantly higher than what we'd expect to see. And since all things like to see an equilibrium, we are suggesting that most likely the market is going to be moving towards that equilibrium shortly. As soon as possible, it wants to get there. So if that was the case, we would be seeing interest rates of about 5.48% versus the somewhere around 6.6% that we're seeing right now. So that is what we expect to see. And as those start to chill out, calm down, come back into equilibrium, we will see a return of the buyers as those mortgage rates come back into kind of equilibrium again. It appears that we have seen the mortgage rates already peak. That looks like it happened back in November of 2022, and we've been seeing them come down. I mean, they've been bouncing around a little bit, but they have overall been coming down since November. So now that we know that the mortgage rates are starting to cool, we are expecting that to continue throughout the year. Another one of the big clickbait headlines that you are seeing right now is home prices are going into a free fall. Home prices are not going into a free fall. All right. So let's talk about what that means. Have there been some decline in home prices? A little bit. Now, let's remember that over the past few years, we have seen some amazing rises in appreciation. Now, pre-pandemic, our home price appreciation was about at 12%, which if you were watching some of my monthly market update videos, you knew that we were a little bit concerned about the fact that they were already that high and that it wasn't even that healthy for our market. Fast forward a couple of years, and as we got into 2022 or 2021, 2020, we were seeing appreciation rates of about 35 to 38%. That was nuts. That was not healthy. That was fever, okay? And we talked about that in some of our other videos as well. It was just not a healthy place for our appreciation rates to be. Okay, so come into 2022, now we've got inflation, now we've got this subsequent mortgage rate causing all of these upward trends to plateau. And as the summer came to an end, home prices started to see a month-over-month decline, which, to be completely honest with you, fell in line with our seasonality, which we haven't seen in years. And that sort of continued throughout the end of the year. So it was a very sort of, we were back to seasonality. It felt normal again for a half a second. So what are we expecting our home prices to do in 2023? Now, it's important to note that even though we've seen a decline in the last few months, it does not mean there are no indications that our values are in a free fall. Okay. That looks like it might have that decline looks like it might have hit its peak back in August, when we had our appreciation at about a negative 1.1%. Now, since then, since August of 2022, it has been easing up. All right. So our most recent report only showed a appreciation decline of 0.5%. Okay. So 0.5% change. So that is that. It is also very important to note that our year-over-year trends are still showing that those homes have gained value, not lost value. We're grateful that we're not seeing 35% appreciation anymore, guys. That was not sustainable, not healthy. So even though we have seen this short-term reduction, the majority of homes have still seen positive equity gain year over year. And even as home prices were dropping in the third quarter of 2022, the majority of those home values were holding steady. You weren't losing anything. Okay. There was barely over 1% that saw some sort of decline in their value. So not a ton, and the majority of the homes will be relatively unaffected throughout this year. So all of that equity growth that you gained, you're not losing it. If you just purchased a home in the last year, you might be feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm losing equity. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not purchase homes to live in for 1 year. If you're doing that, you're a house flipper, and yes, you timed the market wrong. If you are a homeowner, sit tight. You're fine. Your equity will come, I promise you, okay? So as for expert home price predictors, numbers have been all over the board. Their most recent predictions, some of them were at anywhere from a 5.4% appreciation all the way down to a negative 5.1% depreciation. They're all over the board. Okay, so nobody's going to agree on this. It's going to be very, very specific to your neighborhood, to your home, to your state. All of those factors are going to play big into what yours look like. So despite that large range of predictions, one thing that the experts are predicting that they all share in common, and none of the experts, only the clickbait, none of them are predicting a sudden plummet in home prices. They're just not. Okay. So even though we may feel a little bit of downward pressure throughout 2023, we are still in a period of long-term home price appreciation. You're solid. Stay put. Okay. All right. Takeaway. Although our current housing market is still facing some mortgage rate things and it's still going around, and there's still a little bit of cooling demand in some areas, a little bit of downward pressure on our home prices, there is still consistent market activity. We are still seeing people buy homes. We are still seeing people sell homes. And there is a very, 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 very hopeful outlook for the rest of the year coming. All right. As the year continues, we are expecting to see a continued ease on the mortgage rates. Probably not ever going back down to that 3%, but we will see them ease up just a little bit. We would love to see them back to that 5.48%, where we expect them to be shortly. The buyers will return as those interest rates ease, and as they become more confident in the market again. Everybody's in disagreement about the short-term housing prices, but we do know that they are not expected to plummet, and your home is still expected to appreciate and value over the long run. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or my team. We would love to be your residential real estate resource here in Arizona specifically, but if you have questions on a national level, we're happy to help you there or get you in the right direction for the right resources. Please reach out to me directly. My cell phone number is 480-415-1341. You can call or text me there, or of course, we invite you over to our website to see this video and a ton more of similar content, additional content. And you can get a lot more information there as well. That website address is www.living48realestate.com. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you in our next one.